We're here, babe. We're like, oh no.
You're late.
We're already on. I didn't even play our.
Oh.
We're on the wrong button. Look at that.
Well,
Hang on.
Oh, you messed it up.
I messed it up.
Messed it up.
See, people are seeing behind the curtain now.
Yeah. I was adjusting my hair.
I know. Well, people always want a little bit behind the curtain, see what's up, see how the magic is made. You ready for the show?
I'm ready.
Well, okay, here we go. Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your sommelier of cinema, your duke of dope discourse, your master of fun and wonder. I won't say your existential Mr. Rogers, because you already know. Your Archbishop of Banterbury, here with my lovely co-host, better half,
Elizabeth Gwendolyn Bell.
And Elizabeth Gwendolyn Bell, what is this?
This is whining about movies.
And do you know what episode this is?
This is episode 19.
19.
19.
19. 19. We'll dedicate this to Paul Hardcastle, this episode.
Okay.
How about that? 19. Okay, well. And tonight's movie is a French, it's made by a French Canadian. But it's French.
Well, it happens in France.
And New York.
Yeah.
Both cities.
Well, Belleville,
yes. So, I have something I wanted to read to you before we start. And it's from your favorite critic, Roger Ebert.
Are we going to have wine first?
We are going to have wine first. Well, I suppose we could have wine first, but I was going to read this to you first before I pour the wine.
Okay. You're changing things up.
This is from Roger Ebert's 2003 review of the Triplets of Belleville. Of course, Roger Ebert is the patron saint of whining about movies, because not only was he one of the world's greatest critics, but of course, he co-wrote the great Russ Meyer film, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. All right. Here's what Roger Ebert had to say about the Triplets of Belleville. To call it weird would be a cowardly evasion. It is creepy, eccentric, eerie, flaky, freaky, funky, grotesque, inscrutable, kinky, kooky, magical, oddball, spooky, uncanny, uncouth, and unearthly.
Wow. Especially
uncouth. What I did was I typed the word weird, and when that wholly failed to evoke the feelings the film stirred in me, I turned to the thesaurus and it suggested the above substitutes, and none of them do the trick either. That said, let's pour it up.
Interesting.
Actually, that's what Kotowski says on his Star Trek Earl Grey, whatever that is. I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a podcast. He always says, let's pour it up. Let's drink to this film.
What are we having?
Well, I was going to say, you're right.
I'm
a little backwards.
Everything's off today.
It's not off today. First of all, tonight's bottle of wine was brought to you by Claude and his lovely wife, Candida. And Claude very thoughtfully sent us Francis Coppola's Cab Sauv, a Cabernet Sauvignon. And thank you, Claude.
Thank you.
First of all, let's drink to Claude and Candida.
Yes.
And their lovely child. Cheers to them.
Cheers.
Actually, should we do it like in the movie?
Yeah. And then pump it into our veins.
And then pump it into the veins of the people that we've captured, that we've put into forced labor.
The whiners.
I'm a fan of this. I've had this before. It's a very nice drop.
Actually is.
And along with this bottle of wine, something else showed up that I can't talk about that until Monday. So thank you, Claude. Thank you, Candida.
Thank you.
So, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Let's drink to this movie. Sylvain, so how do you say it? Sylvain. Chomet.
Oui.
Sylvain Chomet directed this. A French-Canadian. And I don't know if I could follow up Roger Ebert's description of this movie, but
I mean, he used every word, so.
Well, first of all, what are your impressions of, you'd never seen The Triplets of Belleville?
I'd never seen it.
It's an Academy Award nominated film.
Yes.
And I think it's uniquely French, even though it's uniquely French-Canadian, but it felt French to me.
It's very French.
What was this movie about?
Okay, so
Here it comes.
It starts off with an old-timey feeling.
It's like you're watching
Animation.
a newsreel or an old movie that...
Yeah, like you're watching like an old Popeye or something like that. Like the really old 1930s.
Even 20s, maybe.
20s kind of animation.
Flapper.
Yeah.
The Flappers in like a speakeasy.
Right, and they're singing, and there's like 3 women singing this funky song, like really funky, cool song, and like a bunch of acts and dancing, and there's even like characters that kind of resemble famous people like Frank Sinatra, I recognized, and
there's a naked black woman dancing on stage later.
There's a topless black woman dancing,
and
it was very.
And what did you think of the people that were actually watching this? What would you say about the character designs in this movie?
Oh my goodness. The design of this film is amazing. I mean, just so creative.
Would you say it had verisimilitude, or does it go in the opposite direction of verisimilitude?
Oh, this has a lot of fantastical imagination.
Fantastical imagination.
Yes.
I like that. Surrealism.
Yes, very surreal.
Exaggerated character designs,
Yes.
which
Mhm.
I love the way this movie looks.
Me too. Wow.
I love the way this movie looks. And after the movie opens with the Triplets of Belleville.
Right. They're singing. They're doing their act.
A famous act.
Yes.
And they're like beautiful women at the height of their powers.
Right. Well, no one's beautiful in this film. They're all grotesque and weird and exaggerated.
But in the context of this movie, it's about as beautiful as you get.
Right.
I mean, they look pretty damn good for their day. You know? But yes, this movie is stylized and exaggerated.
Yeah.
Would you say it's grotesque, like Roger Ebert said?
There are, I mean, some of the characters are grotesque looking.
Grotesqueries.
Yes.
Everything's like through a funhouse mirror.
Yes. Yeah, very exaggerated.
A diseased funhouse mirror.
Very, very cool style. I mean, yeah. Just very imaginative.
Very imaginative. And a very singular vision. Very unique.
Yeah, very
to
unique.
Sylvain.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I love about this. I always talk about authorship. This movie has such a distinct point of view.
Yes.
It's such a joy to descend into this absurdist world.
Yeah, totally.
And everything that happens, the plot is absurdist as well. But
Right.
but it does have a plot. So how does it...
It does.
It actually begins in a fairly, I would say, loving way.
Yeah, so it's a grandmother and her grandson, and they're watching a movie, and she asks him, "Is the movie over? Is it over? Is it over?"
It's just beginning.
And so then the story begins from there.
And what is the story?
So it's a grandmother who is raising her grandson, and he's a sad boy with a very large French nose.
He's got a French schnozzerino.
He has a French nose. And so he's kind of a sad boy, and in his bedroom you see a picture of his parents. And his mother's on a bicycle, and his father is standing next to her. And he's a very sad boy, probably because he doesn't have his parents. And so the grandmother's trying to do anything she can to make him happy, because she loves him dearly.
She does.
This story is about...
This starts out
her
like a
love for
Disney
him.
movie.
Yeah.
And it is. It is about her intense,
Her
all-consuming...
unconditional love, and she would do anything
She
for
would
him.
go to the ends of the earth for him.
Just like a grandmother should.
And she discovers a book that he has.
So yeah, she's making his bed, and she sees under his bed a scrapbook, and she looks through the scrapbook, and it's all these pictures of bicycles. So she buys him a tricycle.
Or Tour de France stars.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the idea that it was the Tour de France. Like the pictures were
Okay, yeah, probably.
celebrating that.
Because he cut them out of the newspaper.
Yeah.
And so she gets him a tricycle. Oh, before she gets him a tricycle, she tries to cheer him up by getting him a puppy. The puppy has a big role in this movie.
The puppy does have a big role in this film.
Okay, so he has this puppy, but he's still not happy. He was happy when he got the puppy, but he's still kind of depressed, and she gets him a tricycle. So that sets him on a path for what he becomes. So he's riding his tricycle, and then it jumps ahead to where he's older, and his nose gets much bigger, and he's this really long, lean guy with ginormous leg muscles because he's been training on his bicycle, and his grandmother, his mamie, is the one who's been training him.
Did you speak French?
Well, I used the French name for
just
grandmother.
Checking. I'm just saying, just looking out for you. I think that was a French word you spoke.
I think names are okay. I mean, you know, it is his mamie.
It's not up to me.
It's okay because it's a French film, but still, I won't say an entire phrase until 30,000 subs.
But he's basically training to be in the Tour de France. He wants to be in the Olympics, and his grandmother has supported him all this time. And the dog that they have, you know, barks at. And we see the passage of time going from.
They live outside of Paris, and when you first see the house, like it's a house on a hill, and then all the houses are pretty far away. But as time goes on, then, you know, Paris grows, and now there's like a train that literally goes right past their bedroom window.
It's true.
And Bruno, the dog, loves to bark every time the train goes by.
Every time.
Which reminded me of Tallulah.
Tallulah, our dog.
Who loves to bark every time somebody walks by.
Our Irish doodle. Who's 50% Irish setter and 50% poodle.
Right.
French poodle.
Yes.
A delightful dog, though. Very sweet. She's on the spectrum, but okay.
She's got anxiety issues.
She does.
So anyway, where was I?
Well, you were talking about how the city kind of grows around their house.
Right. So he's in training.
So time is passing by, and they do it in a very clever way.
They do. So he then is time for the Tour de France, and he gets ready for it, and he goes, and his grandmother, she follows along in the on top of the truck, the first aid truck. And so he's going along, and he's going up a great big hill, and then you see these one. You see this one guy with these square shoulders show up.
Evil.
Sinister guy.
Very sinister.
In a black suit, and his shoulders are like square. And he comes.
Bad dude. Up to no good.
Yeah, bad dude.
A heavy, as we call them in the movies.
Yeah.
A heavy.
He comes, and he has nails, and he throws nails on the road, and the truck gets a flat tire. So they try to change the tire, and the spare is flat. In the meantime, the grandson continues on, and you then see that some of the bikers start, you know, falling behind and out of breath, and they kind of fall off their bike, and then the sinister guy goes and gets his other sinister guy twin, and they
master and an apprentice, as we might say.
And they're twins, and they become one when they stand next to each other. They become one person, and then of course they're the bodyguards or whatever for the little guy who's like the boss,
the Godfather.
Well, we don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet.
We know that he's the boss. So they get into another first aid truck, and they start picking up these guys who are on the side of the road, the bikers who are out of breath.
You might as well just say that these bad dudes
are
kidnapping. They're kidnapping these bicyclists, these cyclists, for some nefarious purpose that we don't know what it is. I'm just trying to help you out. Just trying to move along the story.
Might take you too long.
Well, you know, I'm just, you know, you want to deliver the story, the plot with suspense.
Yes.
So the son, the grandmother's son, has been kidnapped, whisked away, disappears, poof.
Yes. So they're taken away, and they end up going on a ship. In the meantime, Grandma finds a way to follow them. And she sees the ship going away, but she sees a guy who's renting paddle boats. So she uses her last franc and gets a paddle boat.
Did you speak French?
It's a franc.
I understand, but that's French. I'm just checking. Okay, 30,000 subs. Want to keep you honest.
So she gets on her paddle boat, and and the sign says 20 minutes.
20
She's
minutes.
like, yeah, 20 minutes. Gets in the paddle boat with Bruno the dog, and they paddle, and they follow the ship, and this scene is beautiful because it's a storm, and this beautiful music is playing, and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen to Mamie? Is she going to drown? And poor Bruno, and they're like in the ocean, and there's a storm, and it's like so emotional because of the music, and you don't want her to get hurt because she's a wonderful grandma and she's trying to save her grandson.
Was there ever a time when you thought that she really was going to, tragedy would befall her, like she would drown in the middle of the ocean?
Well, no, because
I just wondered.
You're not far enough along in the movie.
Okay, okay.
But she's the hero.
She is the hero. She really is the hero of the movie.
Okay. So they get to, the ship passes the Eiffel Tower, so you get a hint that it's America, but it's called Belleville. So it's kind of America, but kind of, there's a lot of French people there.
Are they French? I mean,
most of them are American, but like, I feel like the triplets are French.
They all kind of look very
because
French.
They eat frogs.
Yeah, they eat frogs.
They're French.
And all in America, suddenly the people are gigantically huge.
They are obese.
They're all just huge.
They're
giant. Stylized.
Every person
is huge. Is gigantic.
Huge. Yes, huge. So, what happens next?
Well, then grandmother, long story short, Mamie ends up in the thrall of the Triplets of Belleville.
Well, yeah.
I mean
she tries to follow the truck and she can't because she doesn't have a car.
Right.
So she ends up. She
basically gets waylaid and stranded in a strange city.
Stranded, so she's like under a bridge and she starts playing, drumming on an old
with
bicycle
Bruno the dog, an old bicycle wheel. Yes.
And then the triplets show up because they hear her playing this really funky tune, and they come and they start singing and doing their thing, doing their act.
And these women are old.
They're
old.
And
they've gone from being beautiful to being, they're all Norma Desmond from Sunset Boulevard. They're all these old, crazy. It's like Grey Gardens. If you've ever seen Grey Gardens, it's these, instead of two women, it's three women,
mm-hmm.
and they have become these sort of mutant versions of themselves. They're now ancient. They must be 100 years old. They don't. No one speaks in this movie. There's no dialogue in this film.
No, only at the beginning.
Only at the beginning, at the end, and there's barking. Bruno barks.
Right.
So these crazy mutant women that apparently have been living alone or living by themselves or whatever.
But they're still dancing, and they still.
Oh yeah, they're still reliving the heyday of from the 20s,
that's
or wherever
right,
they are.
That's right.
And they basically take Mamie home with them.
They do. They take her home. And
then begins a personal odyssey.
Yes. So they eat frogs all the time.
And they get frogs because she uses, one of them uses grenades, like a World War I grenade, and goes fishing and uses a grenade throws it in the water.
Right. And all the frogs explode out of the water.
Like Hudson River, and she catches them with a...
catches them.
And it's a very sort of disgusting, I mean, these women are so old, they really don't care what they're eating. They're eating... what are frogs' legs called?
Frog's legs.
Okay, frogs' legs. Frogs are, half of them are alive still.
And they eat the whole frog, not just the legs.
They eat the whole frog, and the grandmother, she's a little upset at first, maybe a little grossed out, but
she gets used to it because she ends up with them for like a year because you see the seasons go by.
The seasons go by, and Bruno the dog is now huge too.
Bruno was always huge after he was not a puppy.
But now he's an American dog. He's even bigger.
Yeah, he's rotund.
And the grandmother has now been incorporated into the life of these crazy women.
Yes.
A year, they're like friends now.
And she even becomes part of their musical.
Well, there's crazy things that happen. Like the grandmother wants to vacuum the house, but they don't let her touch the vacuum.
Right.
She wants to put food in the refrigerator, like the frogs. There's nothing in the refrigerator.
Right. And she's like, no.
Yeah. And then we find out that the Triplets of Belleville, these women are still a performing unit.
Yes.
They're a viable act. They actually play.
They do, but that comes in later.
Well, yeah, but not too much later.
Well, comes in the main.
Okay, well keep going. Scene. I don't mean to, keep going.
Where were we?
Oh. Well, They're
Okay.
having dinner and you know, they're
How
living
do
together.
they-
The seasons pass.
Right. Okay. In the meantime, the grandson has been taken by these people who you find out are
Like the mafia, the 5 families. They've been taken away. The son and other cyclists have been basically put into servitude. It's like they're slaves, and they pedal on this virtual,
but you don't know why. Like they put them on these bicycles.
in front of a screen that makes it look like they're pedaling. And yes, you don't know why,
You
but
don't know why yet.
You don't know why
And
yet.
then they pump wine into their veins.
well, because they're French.
Right.
They're French cyclists.
They're plus the building they're in is the French wine center. The French wine center. So it's all about wine too.
It is all about wine.
Okay. So how
So what happens
Remember-
is we meet them, but then the triplets. It's
oh, this is how they find out. Okay. So they're in a restaurant. Right?
No, I mean they
Oh,
just
I'm all
the
confused.
grandmother doesn't understand what's going on, and the 3 women, after they say don't touch the vacuum cleaner, don't touch the refrigerator, they all go off, and the grandmother doesn't know where they're going, and they go to perform.
But the grandmother performs with them.
Right, but we don't know that. We don't know the grandmother's because time has passed. Now the grandmother's been incorporated into the family. We don't know she's going to play
Right,
with them
that's
yet.
what I'm saying. They're at a restaurant because the triplets are going to play at this fancy restaurant. And also, who's there is the boss guy with his twin
That kidnapped
henchman.
Yes, that's what I was trying to get to. There isn't any big twist or anything that happens. They just
No,
go to this
they
restaurant.
go to this restaurant.
So we're going to a new
and then
realm.
Bruno.
Well, wait. We're going to this
Oh
new realm.
my
It is a
God.
mafia restaurant, and it's a speakeasy too. They go through a secret elevator door into this it's like a dinner theater, and there's all these mafiosos there with all their henchmen, and all the bosses are there, and everybody's there, and there's people dressed up. It's kind of like what it was in the 20s, but it now is in the whatever you consider the modern day in this movie. So everybody's there, and we still don't know what's going to happen. And then suddenly the triplets of Belleville are brought out on stage with Grandma, who's now part of their
Right.
band.
So they play, and Bruno, the dog, has to lay down under a table, which is right next to the boss guy. And then Bruno sniffs the scarf he's wearing and grabs the scarf, and the henchmen pull out their guns and they want to shoot Bruno, and Bruno takes the scarf and brings it to Mamie. And so that's how they figure out where the grandson is.
Yes. Well, what happens is after the triplets of Belleville play, then they bring out the main show was not the triplets of Belleville, but the main show is these cyclists, and we find
No,
out
you're mixing up 2 scenes.
it doesn't matter. We don't have to. We're trying to get through this. You got
Yeah, okay, but that's 2 different places. The restaurant and where the guys are bike riding are 2 different places.
Okay, maybe it's afterwards at the dinner theater, but it's kind of the same. It's not like they have to travel. It's a part of the same milieu.
Is this
No. This part of the same milieu. It doesn't matter. If they go to dinner, then they go into the theater afterwards. They go through the doors or whatever.
Well, they figure out because of the little mouse dude who's the mechanic of this contraption that the bikers are on. She follows him, and that's how they end up at the wine place, the
Oh, right, okay.
the mob place.
Yes, that is correct. So anyway, we're taking too long to get through the story. That's my point.
What? It's
Too
okay.
long.
I think we're fine. It's only 8:24.
This movie is 81 minutes long.
All right, you want to wrap this up then?
No. I'm just saying we're 24 minutes into telling the story of a movie that's only 81 minutes long. I'm just saying.
Okay, what else happens?
Well, I was just going to say, what we find out is the cyclists and the son are put into this infernal contraption where they've been using their power of cycling to power one of those mechanical gambling machines, where the mechanical gambling machine is cyclists, and it's humans that are powering this mechanical machine that is just it's the same thing. It's cyclists that are being powered by cyclists. So They've been sold into servitude to run this gambling machine, and all of the bosses of New York or Belleville or wherever they are gathered to watch and gamble. It's a den of iniquity.
Right.
So
Mamie shows up with the triplets and Bruno, and they sneak in by pretending to be two henchmen.
The henchmen and yes,
a boss person,
which is actually delightful.
It was hilarious. So they sneak in, and then I don't remember what happens.
Mirth, mayhem, the triplets of Belleville and Mamie and Bruno. Basically, there's a big action scene. They use their grenades, they use their frying pans, they use whatever they can to take on the five families, like in The Godfather. They take on everybody. They kill all the bosses. The henchmen escape. They blow up all the bosses, and they're able to rescue.
Yeah. So
the
now
cyclists.
she made it so that the bicycles are actually moving this contraption they're on.
It's all very surreal.
And it becomes like a ship, and so they just like leave the building.
They blow up. They use another grenade to blow up the wall of the fake wine factory, and they take off on the city streets. And they're being pursued by the Duesenbergs, the Rolls Royces of our evil characters. The henchmen are going to avenge the deaths of their bosses.
That's right. They're all chasing.
So there's a wacky, zany
chase scene
throughout the city.
Yes. And then they win. They win.
They win.
And then they leave.
And then they leave, and they set off into the countryside, and then we have a nice denouement. Is that what you'd say? Denouement? Is that how you say it in French?
What are you trying
denouement,
to say?
the sort of the right before the end of the story, the leading up to the end of the. Anyway,
I don't know what you're trying to say.
So, well, they end up traveling off into the countryside, and everything is good.
And then the last scene.
And then there's another scene.
Is the guy, the grandson.
The grandson now grown up and an old man. Like 2001.
Yeah, and he says, "Yes, Mommy, the movie is over."
So there we go. So, what did you think of all this?
I love this movie.
We'll tell the people.
I can't believe that I haven't seen this until now. Like this is my kind of movie.
And this is a viewer's choice film, so
yes, thank you.
The viewers had to know.
They're like hitting it like for me, like wow. And
so now what? I knew this was a Elizabeth Gwendolyn Bell movie. This is a movie that the ace, the arbiter. We didn't. You forgot to say that. You are the arbiter of cinematic excellence. I knew that you were going to love this movie. I was actually surprised you had not seen this movie.
Yeah.
So, tell me more.
What was it, 2003?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the year I had Sophie.
Oh, you had Sophie.
So
okay.
That's probably why.
It was a rough year then. So, you as an artist yourself and the character designs and all that, I knew you would love all that stuff.
Yes, it's so imaginative, creative. I mean, crazy characters. They look just crazy, bonkers. I loved it. The style is just amazing. And the music is great.
It's great.
The entire soundtrack.
So the story's fairly simple, but there's something very endearing. There is, I would dare say, an Amelie-esque quality to the grandmother.
Absolutely.
And her quest, her love for her grandson, that she will not stop. She will follow him with all kinds of risk to life and limb.
Yep.
And
she's a baller.
She is a baller. Grandma baller. Mommy baller, how would you say that?
Yes.
She's all right. So and I mean that I think one of the things that I love about this film is you descend into this world, and this world is like the great fantasists. Every bit of this world has been thought about and crafted and designed.
So many details,
and it's of a piece. In the Duesenberg cars that give chase in Vino Veritas, and the license plates on all of them. It's just it's whimsical. It's dark. It's twisted.
Yeah.
It's, like Ebert said, grotesque. But at the end of the day, there is a sweetness to it as well.
Yeah.
Like, even when you see the triplets of Belleville have grown up to be these... They might as well be witches, like, brewing children in a cauldron of whatever. But they're not.
But
I mean, even
no, they're like smiling all the time, and they're like...
They're loving their lives, even though...
They're happy.
They're hermetically sealed in whatever their crazy and insanity, reliving their... But they're still performing.
They are. People still even when they were in the mafia place...
people hum the song.
When they saw them, they started like humming their song.
Na, 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 na. Yeah, the triplets of Belleville, whatever that song is, the Academy
They still
Award
drew their
nominated song.
guns out at them.
Well, that was only after the mayhem began. They liked seeing him play. And then I thought that you think that the grandma is not going to be... Like, she can't play. She can't play the piano very well.
She's awful.
She's awful. But by the time she performs with them, she's now good.
Well, she was good at playing that bicycle wheel.
But she fits right in with the band.
She does.
So not only is she a baller, but she becomes the fourth Beatles. She's like peak best.
Yes.
The triplets of Belleville.
And she has one short leg, so she has a shoe that has like a... And the shoe is the saving grace at the end. She uses her shoe to get rid of the last car that's chasing them.
It's true. It's true. So, what else would you say about this film?
I think it's delightful. I think everyone should see it. Although, I don't think everyone would love it.
Why not?
Because it's a little weird, and it's not your typical animation. I mean, if you're used to just like Disney stuff and, you know, happy-go-lucky stuff, this is not that.
No, but there was another Canadian animator named Sally Cruikshank, and she made a film I used to watch when I was a kid. It was on cable all the time, called Quasi and the Quackadero.
Huh.
And there is this weird sort of grotesque surrealist. I mean, I am no animation expert, but I mean I love animation. I've done animation work, not myself.
Actually, I read that he kind of based the style on Disney's 101 Dalmatians.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an absurd... Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I could see that, because Cruella de Vil and...
Yeah.
That's... But more of the grotesque,
it was inspired
disease
by that. That style.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can see that, like Cruella de Vil and...
Yeah, no, you definitely can.
Yeah.
I mean, all the triplets of Belleville themselves in their old form, they've kind of become weird, insane versions of...
Yeah, and one of them even has like a fur, it's like a cat.
Yeah, you even see the cat head. She hasn't even taken the head of the cat. You know, and with the great X'd eyes out, the dead cat head.
Yeah.
I mean, you laughed at this movie. You did your Elizabeth Delight thing where you repeat what you're seeing sometimes, going, "Oh my God, she's got that blah blah blah." I love when that happens.
I start narrating.
You do start narrating. You're either asking me questions and what do I say when you ask me questions about the movie?
Just watch the movie, you'll see. Or you'll get upset with me.
I will.
Stop asking me questions.
Because that was what my little sister did when she was like 6. What this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And I'd be like, I'd be sitting in the love seat that I never wanted to get out of it. But when my sister would come down to watch something with me, I really wanted to get out of that seat and, you know, pop her one. Or I'm going to pop you. What did Sally say? Charlie Brown's little sister. I'm going to pop you. I felt that way about my sister. And sometimes, I mean, I wouldn't do it. But sometimes when I'm like, Elizabeth, this is why the plot is unfolding. Just let it go.
Just keep watching.
Just keep watching. It's gonna will be revealed.
Usually when I'm asking questions, I'm just talking out loud. I don't expect you to answer. I'm just throwing my ideas out.
Yes, your inner monologue is spilling out into the real world.
It is.
It's a little frightening sometimes.
Oh man.
That's okay. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
So you like this movie?
I loved this movie.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Well, there are people that are firing in questions that they too, I think, want to share. Well, apparently I didn't move the. I've cut myself out
Hello.
Wow, that's hang on a second.
That's not gonna work.
That's not gonna work. Let me put myself back into the shot. Oops. I don't know what to say. Oops. Hang on.
Just do the other camera.
Yeah, just what I'll do is there's no other camera. It's just hang on.
The computer.
Hang on. Look at that. Here, hang on. I'm gonna put myself back in. Wait. There we go. Hey.
That's
How
hilarious.
about that? Huh?
There you are.
There I am.
Oh,
wait.
No, you're not.
Oh, there I am. Hey, everybody. I'm back. It's been that kind of day. Sometimes you have fun technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got Mukbang is here. Do you have a preference for red or white? I'm red.
Red, I would say.
Because you're French.
Yeah.
I like white wines a lot, though.
I do too. Especially in the summertime. But I do like white wines. Mostly I like Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, I mean, you're making me like... I wasn't a Sauvignon Blanc fan, but you're making me like it. I like it more. I mean, when I was in New Zealand, they had a lot of good Sauvignon Blancs, and I
mean, you have to be careful. Like, they're not always great, but, like, a lot of them can be, and they're very refreshing.
They are refreshing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like sweet wines.
I don't like when they're sweet.
When they get up to Rieslings...
Yeah, I don't like that.
Too much.
But, I don't know. Chardonnays, for me, it's hit or miss.
Oh, I'm a big Chardonnay fan. I like the buttery, oaky Chardonnays.
Yeah, see, I don't like the oak. That's why I don't like Chardonnay.
Well, I like the Chards. Mukbang also says, have you ever worked on any animated properties that you can talk about? Please compare and contrast animation work with working with real people. I don't know how to answer this. Well, to be honest, I've worked on special features for animated movies. I worked on The Emperor's New Groove, as I've talked about. I worked on Fantasia. I worked on Snow White for Disney, and I made special features for those. But if I've ever actually worked on an animated movie or show, I can't comment on that.
Oh,
I can't comment on that.
You can't even...
No.
Oh.
Nope, I have nothing to say about that, Mukbang.
Really? You can't even...
Nope.
Oh.
Can't say anything.
At all?
Nope.
That you're even...
Nope.
I didn't
No
say
comment.
anything.
I have no comment about that.
Okay.
So, yep.
There you go.
You're welcome. Sorry, Mukbang. Have you ever worked with... Oh, wait. Do you have a regional continental wine preference? I like California or Europe. Mukbang asks.
Oh, no, I love both California and Europe. Mostly French wines, but I do love from all over the place.
Well, I have to say, I lived in New Zealand on and off for about 3 years, and then I lived in Australia for a year, and there's some great wines. I had some great Australian wines, great New Zealand wines.
Yeah, I haven't had very many great Australian or New Zealand wines.
Oh. Well, I have to tell you, I was lucky enough, there is a publicist named Ernie Malick that I worked with on Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and Ernie Malick is a wino. What would you call it? He is a wine, I guess he would, he's not a sommelier, he's a winer. He knows his wine. And it was a joy to go out with him. He's not a wino. He's not like, no, he's a publicist. And he really knew, not only did he know his wines, he did a very good job pairing wines with food.
Yes. My friend Brienne is like that.
Yes. Brienne's, and we have lots of friends. A lot of your friends like wine.
Yes.
We drink a lot of wine.
Well, I would say Brian and Brienne and we ventured into wine together. But they've become experts. And Brienne remembers what everybody likes, and so it's easy to just say, Brienne, what kind of wine should I have tonight with this?
Yeah.
I'm eating this. Oh, you should have this. She's amazing.
Yeah. Wine is I've always liked wine ever since I was a little kid. You're always trying to steal it.
Oh, no.
It's great being a Jew. Yeah, give me some more of that wine,
Yeah,
Steal.
no.
Although, Manischewitz, not my favorite.
Oh, I've never tried it.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to. But no, I do like, I like European wines. I like California wines.
I love French wines.
I love French, Italian, Spanish wines are good.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. I always wanted to, one of my goals is to own a vineyard one day.
I heard something once when I was up in Sylvain.
Yes.
I was told that in order to make a fortune, in order to make a large fortune in the wine business, you have to first start with a small fortune. Meaning you have to be rich.
For
first.
me, it's not about making a fortune. I just want to be in a vineyard and...
Well, one of the cool things about being in New Zealand, there's a lot of, I guess they would call them lifestyle properties.
Yeah.
Where you could buy like 3 acres of land, and there were people that had little tiny vineyards, and you could go on the weekends, and people would sell their wines.
Well, I was trying to get a group of friends and us to go in on a small winery that I had found in the Temecula area.
Yes.
And it was a great deal, and there was already 5 acres of vines that had been established there, and they were already producing wines in the French style. So I was like, oh, guys, let's buy this.
I think we're swerving a little bit away from...
No, because this is about wine, too.
Okay, what's about... that's good, I guess. Claudius is here. We're drinking Claudius's wine.
Yes, thank you.
Bonjour, mon amis. Uh-oh. Hang on. Wait a second here. Oops. Wait, that's why. I'm like, how come I can't see? Because I haven't put my glasses on.
I think you missed one before.
No.
Lower.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah,
No,
you're right.
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Bonjour, mon ami. Vous êtes super. Note, Flesh and Bone and Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Bone's a different film. Flesh and Bone and the Triplets of Belleville are both about commitment. The dilemmas are messy, and the heroes use their industriousness and skill to overcome adversity.
Yes.
I like that. See, there's a narrative. I like how Claude is seeing that we're building an overarching narrative for the audience.
Yeah, I like that connection. I like that connection that he made. That's
very interesting. Very interesting. And plus, Belleville seems like a mix of Paris, New York, and Montreal.
Yes.
A French city in North America. There is a statue of Liberté with a hamburger emblematic of culture that worships food.
Yeah, with the very large Americans.
With the very large Americans. Hence the burger.
Yes.
I can see that. T. Kane sends in a super chat and says, "Hey, Rob and Elizabeth, cheers. Rob, what do you think about Babylon 5 and a possible movie? It's similar to old Star Trek in some ways. I am a huge Babylon 5 fan. I really... what have I done? What's going on here?
Oh.
I don't know what I've done here. I've done something terrible. I hit something. I didn't even know this was here. I cut myself. What am I doing?
Can they see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can see.
Oh, no, they can see that. Hang on, I'm sitting here talking. It's all part of the show, folks. It's all part of the show. You know what I'm saying?
This has been an interesting show.
It's been... I know, you think... Hang on. Just hold on. Hold on.
Oh, boy.
Well, hang on. I don't know what's happening. Actually, to be honest, this is some weird... Is it some weird glitch? It is a very strange...
Now hit the arrow. The little arrow over here.
I know, but there's a ghost in the machine. No, there's something bizarre. Something has happened. I don't even know what to say. Look at that. Isn't that weird?
Oh, that is so weird.
That's something strange has happened.
Oh.
Something strange.
Well, then go to this camera.
I'll go to this camera. Okay? There you go. I don't know. That's bizarre. You know what happens? We have all kinds of crazy... what can you do?
Yeah.
I don't know what I hit. Some strange button. I mean, I am drinking wine, and what can you do? So we can't see T. Kane's Babylon 5. For those of you who don't know, Babylon 5 is a mid-90s science fiction series that was created by J. Michael Straczynski. And I Straczynski's written movies for Clint Eastwood. He also was the producer of the 3rd season of the Phil Daguerre produced Twilight Zone to round out their syndication package. It is it went 5 seasons, then it had a second show, Crusade. They made some Babylon 5 movies. I'm a huge fan of Babylon 5. Unfortunately, it was an early video effects show, so the visual effects look primitive, and I would love it if they would upgrade the show to HD, but they haven't. But I really love Babylon 5. I think it's a fine series, especially seasons 2, 3, and halfway through season 4. Straczynski didn't know if he was going to get a 5th season to finish out the arc, so he had to basically finish it too early. Season 5 sort of meandered, but it's still one of the best science fiction shows that's ever been on TV. There you go.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's really good. I don't know what button I hit. Candida's here. Candida says, she sends in a tip, and she says, "Hi friends, you need to have the Portuguese vinho verde. It is actually translated as young wine. It is very inexpensive and comparable to a Sauvignon Blanc."
Oh, I would love to try that.
I mean, I so want to go to Portugal.
Me too.
I mean, I've really wanted to go to Portugal, not just because of film festivals there, but I've always wanted to go. I never got there when I was in Spain, because Portugal's.
Yeah.
If you look at a map here, Spain it's I guess it would be west.
Know.
Portugal's west.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do people
I've
know?
I've never been to Spain or Portugal. I've been to Italy.
Oh, I've been to Spain a lot. My favorite. Look at that. You like that pour? Look at that. Don't complain.
Yeah.
So no, I mean I really want to go to Portugal.
Yeah, we totally should.
There's a couple of great film festivals there. I guess I have to make another movie.
Yes.
I mean, the Hills Run Red we took to Spain. My favorite film festival, Sitges.
Right.
Sitges Film Festival. I mean, I've been at Free Enterprise. That's world premiere in Spain.
That's very cool.
I got to make another movie and go to Portugal. So, young wines. I mean, that's interesting. I don't.
Yeah, kind of like a Beaujolais is a young wine.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I love Beaujolais.
Yeah, me too.
I love Beaujolais. I mean, that's a French wine that I dig.
Yeah, that's a young wine.
Well, that's something that we definitely should. I mean, but isn't Beaujolais like a brand?
No, it's a young wine.
It's a young wine.
Yeah.
That's just what the word Beaujolais means?
Basically.
Well, okay, look, I'm asking you not to speak Beaujolais, but define Beaujolais.
It's like a young wine. It's a wine that hasn't sat for a long time.
Oh.
It's just like they make it and then you drink it.
Oh. Okay, I guess I've only.
And there's a season for that.
Can there be white and red Beaujolais, or is Beaujolais
it's always
only red?
red?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's only red. But Candida is talking about.
Right, which sounds amazing. I want to try that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. This is new to me.
Yeah, sounds great.
So, back to the movie, and
Yes.
now back to the movie. We've had technical difficulties. So this film, are you an animated film fan? And if so, what are some of your favorite animated movies?
I love animated movies.
Since you were a little kid?
Yes, absolutely. Of course, we all love the Disney classics, but I would have to say, my favorite Disney films would be. I always cry when I watch Tangled.
Oh my God! Come on, man!
I do.
Come on, man!
I do when the lanterns are in the and that's why that inspired me for my 40th birthday. I wanted lanterns. I wanted to release lanterns because I saw that in Tangled. I thought it was so beautiful.
Are you 40?
No,
you look lovely.
Did I say 40? I meant my 25th birthday.
Okay. Just checking. So that's but okay. What about classic Disney animation? I mean, Tangled's like new. I guess it's a
nuevo. All right, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
I've always loved but I loved The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
And
That was the movie that sort of began the renaissance of Disney animation in the 80s and 90s, late 80s and 90s.
But when I was even younger, like I always loved like Fantasia.
Well, that's my favorite Disney animation.
You know, of course, Snow White, and of course, Sleeping Beauty.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I mean, did you want to be rescued by a prince?
Of course. Of course I did.
All right.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I really loved. I mean, when I was a kid, I did love Snow White, and I still love Snow White and Pinocchio, the classic films. Although, I have to say,
Dumbo, I loved Dumbo.
Dumbo's good. Snow White is basically it's rotoscoped. You know, they're drawing over human figures, real people playing parts.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that kind of bums me out, even though I like the way it all looks. Well, because I love like one of the things I love about Triplets of Belleville is the stylization.
Oh, right.
The stylization of, like, I love the stylization of the world.
Right.
And the characters. I really love that.
Well, Sleeping Beauty was very stylized.
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty. Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, yes,
the animated,
I loved
the
that.
stylization of that.
Yeah.
And I really like, I mean, you know, when I was a kid growing up, I loved Japanese animation. Like obviously Speed Racer, but then when things got, I really loved Space Battleship Yamato or Star Blazers here.
Yeah,
and then,
you know, when I was younger in France, we would see Japanese animation, and there was one that I absolutely loved. It was The Little Princess. Is that the name of it? Little Princess?
I don't know.
The Little...
I don't know what it's called.
I was thinking about
well, that's.
it
I
today.
mean, we didn't get to see when I was growing up. There wasn't a lot of, besides Speed Racer and Marine Boy and things like that.
No, you couldn't see that stuff here.
No, and what we didn't get, what I really missed out on when I was a kid, was the Japanese super robot shows, like Getter Robo and Getter Robo G, and I saw those later in life. It was hard to watch those shows because they're more kid oriented, but I love the mecha. I love the robot. As you know, I've got lots of die-cast Japanese robots and things like that. Mazinger Z, though.
You know what I used to watch when I was younger was Voltron.
Yeah.
That's Japanese, right?
Mm-mm.
No. Oh.
But it for all intents and purposes, it kind of is. I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, it is. Yeah. I mean, but Voltron is a super. Yes, it's definitely yes. Mukbang says, I loved Up, Aladdin, and WALL-E.
Yes.
Now,
Up is great.
Mukbang likes your earrings, too. Any story behind them?
Thank you.
Any story behind them? Just curious. Very pretty.
No story. I have a thing for earrings, and...
I like your earrings. I like that you have big earrings. I like that you get these big, ornate earrings.
Yeah, I feel like with short hair, you kind of have to wear big earrings.
Yeah.
So, yeah. When I got my hair cut short, I started wearing very large earrings. And actually, I have these amazing French artisan handmade earrings. I'll wear them on the next show. They're beautiful.
Well, you got to come on. We are doing a show Monday night. The 400th show of Robservations goes from noon to 6:40 at night.
All right.
And then we will do the 8 o'clock WINEning about movies.
Are you going to have enough energy?
I have good stamina. I have good stamina.
Indeed.
And why don't you announce what the next movie is? Because I'm really excited for this this next movie.
What is it again? I forgot.
It's Night of the Hunter.
Oh, well, you told me to announce it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You announce the movie.
Night of the Hunter. It's the next movie chosen by the Winers.
Do you know anything about it?
I know nothing about it.
It is a great, very influential film.
Awesome.
And it is not a nice movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
And this would be was our first viewer's choice Flesh and Blood? What was our first viewer's choice?
It was. Wait, I have a list.
A list.
How could we have forgotten?
Because we're drinking wine.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, here it is.
So it's our two.
Dark City.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so Dark City, Flesh and Blood. This is our third of 6 viewers' choice.
Yes.
Actually, 7 because number 1 is a tie.
Right, we're watching 2 movies.
We're doing a double length show.
Yeah. So,
I forgot Dark City was yeah.
The next one is Night of the Hunter.
What are the others after Night of the Hunter?
Then it's Brazil. Then it's our double whammy, Zardoz.
And The Long Kiss
The
Goodnight.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Very disappointed with. We're gonna have fun. I can't wait.
I feel like that's gonna be a 2-hour show.
It is a 2-hour show.
So we might have to start an hour earlier.
Okay, we'll start an hour earlier, sure. But yeah, interesting. Hang on. Garen Gillum says, you know what? Wait, I want to go back to mukbang. I can't. It says mukbang, but since you told me it's mukbang.
It's mukbang.
Mukbang. I love that idea of the Korean.
And we still haven't eaten. And we still haven't watched any of those videos. Mukbang.
No, we haven't watched mukbang videos. but you know, Up, Aladdin, and WALL-E. I think WALL-E and Up, they're like masterpieces because both of those movies, like the Triplets, as I'm spitting, the Triplets of Belleville, don't have they don't rely on dialogue.
Right.
You know, they don't.
That's true.
They don't rely. Like WALL-E is a film like this that is carried along almost without dialogue at all.
I loved WALL-E.
I love WALL-E.
When Sophie turned 4, she also loved WALL-E, and I made her a WALL-E cake, and it was really cool.
Not only is WALL-E a great animated film, it's also a great science fiction film.
It is.
I really like that film a lot.
I love that film.
And Up is great too. So
I love robots. So
me too.
Yeah.
I love robots. Garen Gillum says, I once got plastered on a bottle of port, which is blasphemy. But it was the only bottle I had in the house at the time. Laugh out loud. We've been enjoying the bottle of port.
Yes, we have. It's almost gone.
It is almost gone. We've dipped into Candida and Claude's bottle of port.
Yes.
Not on this show.
Right.
We've been. It's quite good.
It is
that
very
port
good.
is very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
What were we having it with the other night? It was like, this is a good pairing.
Yeah,
we
it was
were
a good
having
pairing.
port and chocolate.
That's
port
right.
And chocolate chips.
But isn't that how you're supposed to do that? Doesn't port go with chocolate as a French person?
I don't know, but it was awesome.
I would think it would. Isn't port like a dessert wine?
Yeah,
It goes great with chocolate. That port in particular.
It's great.
The two choices and whatever those
they
chips
were chocolate chips.
But I know, but they came in that tin. They
were semi.
Man, that was delightful. I mean, that was an orgasm of the taste buds.
It was so
You know, when
good.
you get the melted chocolate in the back of your tongue, and then you have the swig of port.
Oh my goodness, so good.
Yeah. T. Kane sends in a super chat and says, "Cheers to Rob and Elizabeth again. I think John Wick could fit into any universe, rom-com, comic, sci-fi. Can you name any movie character that could fit into a different movie genre?" Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh.
I think Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones would make a great romantic comedy lead.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
I want to see that movie.
Indiana Jones he could also be in a drama. He could get caught up in political intrigue in like Washington, D.C. The top men political intrigue. If it wasn't an action film, but if it was like an Aaron Sorkin written movie about like something happened in the 40s and Indiana Jones got involved in political intrigue, then he could be in a screwball comedy or something like It Happened One Night.
I would totally love to see him in a comedy.
Yeah, like a 50. He could have been in Some Like It Hot. You know, Indiana Jones could star in Some Like It Hot. I think Indiana Jones is your man.
Totally.
In your man. Hell, look, Claudia says the Little Prince, book by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I know The Little Prince.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the?
That's not what I meant, though.
But I think there is a Japanese animation.
Is there?
I think there is.
Oh.
I think there is. To be honest, I think there is.
Yeah.
Mukbang sends in a super chat and says, "I love Night of the Hunter and will have too much to say about that film." It's a great film, and
That's
I've got
the next one.
The Criterion Lasers. Wait till you see it. I mean, it's great because you know what's been fun about this show is we're watching. I mean, it's a mix of classics and culty and
it is.
It's,
and these 2 weeks are movies that have been chosen for us.
Yeah, and aside from The Long Kiss Goodnight, I've been very happy with all of the Viewers' Choice movies. I have a lot to say about Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah, you do.
I have a lot to say about it.
Yeah, he does. Just you wait.
Yeah, I do. I have a lot to say about it. Kaz Graphics sent in a super chat and said, "Growing up, I watched anime like Speed Racer, G-Force, and Star Blazers. It was UHF back in the day. UHF, man. Remember UHF? We never had a UHF station.
What's UHF?
UHF was a frequency.
Oh,
We never had
right.
UHF. You know,
Okay.
we never had that. And we got Speed Racer. We didn't have G-Force in
I
Seattle
did see
either,
Speed Racer.
or Battle of the Planets. I have Battle of the Planets action figures. Does that surprise you?
No.
Yeah.
I am younger than you, though, so.
I think I just spilled on my shirt. Uh-oh. I have a drinking problem. Throg is here. Throg, who saved our lives. I mean, you know what? I've never had a man in my life that I thought about as much as Throg when I wiped my bung.
But Throg is with his wife.
Oh, I shouldn't say it, but his wife knows. His wife knows he sent us a box.
I'm saying they're watching.
I love
the show
that
together.
Throg and his wife for the very first time. It's always been Throg and the Temple of Doom, or
Right.
Throg and the Flame Wind of Ocean.
So
if you're
I'm
a
just
Lando
guessing
Calrissian.
that they're both watching the
I
show.
think Throg and his wife's there. So Throg loves Fantasia, Peter Pan, Sleeping Beauty, Animated Maleficent, Hubba Hubba. Lady Throg loves Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, and Aladdin.
Yes, Cinderella. Oh, I loved Cinderella. I can't believe I didn't
love
think
that
about that.
Throg and Lady Throg. I mean, you know
Lady
what?
Throg.
I think, you know, the Burnettwork we have our own comic book store, Comic Relief, Jacob Fudge's store. I like the idea that Throg and Lady Throg can be the first Burnettwork royalty. I kind of like that idea. I think that's good. Throg and Lady Throg. I like that. It's good. All right, Throg and Lady Throg. Those are good choices, though.
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, I love that Throg loves Fantasia, because Fantasia is not your traditional...
Oh, and Aladdin, too. Like, I was obsessed with that when it came out.
See, I think Aladdin is too... it's too colloquial of its time. The jokes, if you go back and you watch it now...
The jokes are great.
The jokes are very much of the time. It's
Okay.
It's not as timeless...
That's true.
As you know what it's not as timeless as some of the other Disney movies. Like I worked on Emperor's New Groove, you know, up there, and all the discs I worked on are above us. But Emperor's New Groove was topical, but I thought Emperor's New Groove was hilarious.
Yeah, it didn't do well. People didn't like that film.
Cusco's poison for Cusco. I loved it. Patrick Warburton,
It was funny.
so good. Uh-oh. Lady Throg says she loves the long kiss goodnight. Well, tune in, Lady Throg.
Yes.
I have lots to say. By the way, I have to say thank you for cutting my hair.
You're welcome.
I love my haircut.
Yes.
Oh, it's good. Throg Giancarlo sends in a tip and says, Goodfellas is a hell of a rom-com. Well, you know, you might joke, but Lorraine Bracco's character and, of course, Henry Hill, they do have quite the romance. It's tumultuous, and he has a guma, obviously.
It's pretty tumultuous.
But I would say that there is kind of a lot of funny romantic stuff.
Yeah.
Like when she blows him in the kitchen to make him give her money.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's not exactly romantic. That's...
Well, it depends on what end of the stick you're on.
Ba-dum-bum.
I don't know, you know. But it is. I mean, Goodfellas, what I love about Goodfellas is it starts out like a gangster movie, but it has, the only thing it doesn't have in it are horror and science fiction elements, but it's got the greatest cocaine paranoia scene ever committed to film.
Oh my god.
It does, when he's all gacked to the gills and the cops are out. It's the best. I love Goodfellas. So good. So good. Throg in a Shell 4K, as in Ghost in the Shell 4K. You know, the new Ghost in the Shell series dropped on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh.
I can't show Lady Throg Zardoz with a straight face. You know what marriage?
Oh.
You know what marriage is all about, Throg? It's about being able to share things you don't think you can share. It's true.
You have to, because we're going to be discussing a Long Kiss Goodnight
Yeah, you
with
can't.
Zardoz.
Yeah, Lady Throg has to watch.
She has to see Zardoz.
If I have to watch A Long Kiss Goodnight again, which I did, and I've got lots to say about the whole thing. I mean, Long Kiss Goodnight.
Actually, we're going to have to watch it one more time.
Yeah, we're going to watch it one more time. One more time. Rennie Harlan. What a director. Anyway, Long Kiss Goodnight. At the time...
You must watch Zardoz.
You have to watch Zardoz.
Yeah.
You know why you have to watch Zardoz, Lady Throg? Because the penis is evil. As a matter of fact, why don't you reach up there? Go grab that. Go grab that. You know what? Every time somebody mentions Zardoz, it's like a drinking game. Hang on. Let me pull this out. Zardoz speaks to you. The gun is good. The penis is evil. By the way, I just want to say that my friend Cliff Stevenson got me this Zardoz belt buckle. He found it on Etsy, and as Cliff, or as we know him, Geek Santa. He also got me this recently, just so you know. He had this made. It's amazing. It's an ad for the Tron video game.
Yep.
So, anyway. Mukbang says, do you remember Space Giants or Spectre Man? I remember them, but I didn't watch those shows. I didn't have them when I was growing up, which was kind of a bummer, to be honest. Kind of a bummer. Yeah. Oh, Candida says, I love Spirited Away, Up, and Ponyo.
Oh,
those are all, well, Ponyo and Up are Spirited Away are Studio Ghibli films.
Yes.
And I love
Absolutely
Miyazaki.
love those.
I love everything. My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah.
I love Howl's Moving Castle, Princess
one?
Mononoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Me
huge
too.
Fan.
Huge. Ponyo was my kids loved that film so much.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, totally.
Tangled is a very beautiful and underrated film.
Love Tangled.
By the way, in Portugal, port is usually paired with flan, chocolate, and cheese. Cheers to us.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
With cheese, it would be amazing.
I just want to go to Portugal and hang out on the beach.
Right?
Drink wine.
Drink port.
Sounds good. Maybe you think Claude will loan Candida to us and we'll take off and she can show us around?
Well, we could all go.
We'll all go. Well, yeah, why not?
Why not?
He'll go.
Yeah.
We're all going. Cocaine Throg! Come on, the final 15-minute cocaine frenzy is incredible. Oh, it is. It's one of my favorite things in any movie. It's so well done. And the only reason Martin Scorsese could have done that is because he understood what it was like to be in the deep thralls of a cocaine frenzy like that.
Of course he did.
Paranoid. It's so good. It's so good. Well, Elizabeth, we're over time.
We are?
Yeah, we're over time.
Oh, we are.
So we have to we've come to the part of the evening where the bottoms up scale. On a scale of 1 to 4, explain what the bottoms up scale is.
So the bottoms up scale is 1 to 4 glasses because there are 4 glasses of wine in a bottle. So.
And bottoms up meaning, you take a swig.
Bottoms up.
And wait, Zardoz. No, there's no reason. I just want to do that. I love this thing. It looks so great on camera. Like, it looks so much bigger than it is, and you float it around. Like, do it slowly. I am Arthur Frayne. So what would you... Maybe I'm drinking too much. I have work to do for the 400th show tonight. I got videos to transcode. I got so many videos coming in.
Oh, you have all day tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got 7 hours of interviews that I have to cut in, and I've got to host shows on.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I got stuff. Yeah,
Aw.
I know, a lot of work to do this weekend, babe. So wait, let's get back to the bottoms up scale. The Triplets of Belleville, on the bottoms up scale of 1 to 4 glasses of wine. What would you give this movie?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, I do know.
We've got to the end of the show.
I just feel like giving a perfect score is like giving a perfect score.
Well, that's okay. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. By the way, Throggiver Stone. He says, Lady Throg hates Oliver Stone's Alexander. Now she wants Flan. Okay, I'm going to throw you a little curveball there, Throg. There are 3 versions of Oliver Stone's Alexander. 3. Now, does Lady Throg hate all of them? Has she only seen one version? Because, if you can go for... I've got the box set of Oliver Stone's Alexander. No verisimilitude with Colin Farrell's hair, though, I got to say. You wouldn't like it.
I don't think I've seen it.
I know, but I know. Anyway, we still have yet to get to the bottoms-up scale. You have to rate the movie.
Yes, okay. So I'm going to give this film a 3.75.
3.75?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it 3.5. I think this movie is a delightful film. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It puts a smile on your face, just like Roger Ebert said. So we will, on the bottoms-up scale, we give the Triplets of Belleville I give it 3.5. You give it 3.75.
Yes.
Let's drink. Let's cheers to the Triplets of Belleville. Are we gonna kill our glasses? I'm gonna save this.
I'm gonna save it for dinner. Because I haven't eaten dinner.
I haven't eaten dinner either.
Neither have you.
No. All right. So Elizabeth, this brings us to an end of episode 19.
Yes.
Of Whining About Movies, our 3rd viewer's choice title.
Yes.
We have 4 more, really, but another week. This is week 1 of a 2-week special. Like, we've only done 19 shows, but apparently we're going to have 7 movies. Where can people find you on social media?
Yes, so on Instagram, I am EGBell, B-E-L-L-E. On Facebook, I'm Elizabeth Bell, E-L-Y-S-A-B-E-T-H, B-E-L-L-E.
Right.
Same on Twitter, Elizabeth Bell.
Oh, that's good. I want to, of course, as we always do, I want to thank the Richard for being supportive of the shows and running watch parties. You can sign up. You can go to the Whining About Movies Facebook page and interact there with the Richard and tell him what you think and what you want to see. Or you can go to the Post-Geek Singularity Facebook page. And, of course, I want to thank the great moderating staff that we have here, beginning with Mike Bodden, Detective Jim Boyers, Greg Smith, and of course, the man who's here right now, Lewis Yu. I want to thank Lewis, and of course, Geordie Lyons for being the great moderating staff that they are.
Yes.
And I also want to thank you, Imagination Connoisseurs, for supporting this channel. We sailed past 2 million views last night. The Burnettwork has 2 million views on YouTube, which is amazing.
Yeah.
For our small channel. If you like these chats, like and subscribe. And I want everyone to remember, Monday is the 400th episode of Robservations, the show about something. I will be raising money for charity. I will be playing all kinds of videos. I have interviews, 5 interviews, with filmmaker Carrie David and her movie Breaking Their Silence, Women on the Front Line of the Poaching War. I interviewed Melinda Snodgrass, who's a novelist, who is also a producer and writer on Star Trek The Next Generation. The great comic artist, one of my heroes, Bill Sienkiewicz, who, of course, did everything from Moon Knight to Elektra Assassin to Stray Toasters to New Mutants. That was a great conversation. Brian Fuller, the co-creator of Star Trek Discovery and Hannibal. I interviewed him as well. And wait, I know that I am... Who am I missing? Oh, Barbara Crampton. The delightful and lovely Barbara Crampton, who starred... We all met her for the first time in Stuart Gordon's Reanimator. She came back in 2009 and was in You're Next and has been just crushing it. So I've got 5 different interviews you'll see snippets of during the 400th show. It'll be 400 minutes long, beginning at noon on Monday.
And there's a giveaway.
Oh, there is.
There is a very cool giveaway.
There's a very cool giveaway. The Burnettwork is going to be giving away a sound bar, JBL's 9.1 soundbar, an Dolby Atmos soundbar. It does not go on sale until May 31st. Now, if you have a smaller room, or you have a room where you want to have a great sound system, real surround sound, it's a sound bar, so it's not like real surround sound, but if you want to have a great piece of gear, it comes with a subwoofer.
It has 2 little speakers that come
satellite
off,
speakers that come off
that you put next to yourselves, and there's a subwoofer, so it's pretty.
It's pretty kicking. It's a pretty great system, and thanks to JBL and their experiential engagement department. They're fans of both this show and John Campia's show. They are graciously donating one of their brand new soundbars. They're 9.1 Dolby Atmos soundbars that, again, we're going to get it. I'm giving it away on my birthday. And how do you enter? We're going to have a portal where you go through. If you go to the Burnettwork on YouTube and subscribe, if you go to any of the Facebook pages, all you have to do is go through the portal and go to
and
these.
Each time you subscribe to one of these pages,
or just go. Even if you visit and you go through the portal,
you are re-entered.
You are re-entered into the giveaway.
So every time you subscribe, you are entered.
And I'm going to give away that soundbar. And by the way, that soundbar retails for, I think it's $999.95. It's $1,000 piece of gear. And again, we're getting it before it's even been released to the public. It officially gets released May 31st. So that's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
And so look out for that.
Yep.
And I want to say thanks to everyone. And what do we say, Elizabeth, at the end of all of our shows?
What do we say?
Come on, man.
Everyone you meet has a story to tell.
That you haven't heard.
That you haven't heard. That's always the part I forget.
And what?
And all you have to do is listen.
All you have to do is listen. And with that,
have a better night.
Have a better night, whiners. And I will be on I'll be back on the John Campia Show on Monday. And the 400th episode of Robservations starts.
And whining about movies.
High noon, whining about movies, Monday night,
At
episode 20.
20.
With Night of the Hunter.
Yep.
Starring Robert Mitchum as a very scary man. And with that, everyone, have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers.
Cheers.